Hey guys, Rebels of Cloud9, and back I've got, I think this is the last of my airbrushing to do, and that is the star stencils I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do those. First things first though, I gotta say something. I'm going to be changing the due date, the ending date for the build. It was June 1st, but I'm going to be gone June 1st. I'm going to go to a modeling show in Nanton. I've never been to a modeling show before, so I'm really excited. And we were just going to go there and then come back, but we're going to go all the way up to Calgary, which is really cool because I get to go to a bunch of hobby stores that I didn't get to go to last time when I was up in Edmonton. I was supposed to try and make it to a couple of them on my way back. So guys, final date is June 2nd. That is Sunday. So Sunday, if you haven't already, post your build then, and that's when I'm gonna have my build up, and then the compilation with everybody is probably gonna be the next day or that day. The final date for sending in your finished models though is June 1st. So if I could get all the pictures by June 1st, hopefully everyone will have them done by then. I'll include my email address in another video next week because I really want to get through this part here. And so I've got my airbrush, it's all set, cleaned. I've got some Tamiya XF2 flat white, and I have added quite a bit of thinner to this. For doing this, I need it to be quite thin, and it's about the consistency where I like it. What I did is I took some Tamiya tape and I laid out two pieces of it, and I put it on a piece of glass and cut out these star templates on the glass. And I taped them up with the Tamiya, as you can see here. And then I put some green tape loosely on the model, but it's secure onto the yellow Tamiya tape. I'm not sure if I'm picking that up 100% here. So I put one here on the other side of the turret, and I did two here on either side. So you can see this is kind of a big thing. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go and move all this stuff over and get airbrushing. Okay guys, I got my airbrush all set up, ready to go. Now you might be wondering, what was the point of having thinner paint than before? As opposed to using a normal consistency of what you would, use for airbrushing. The reason why I have it so much more thin this time is because I'm going to be letting out as little amount of paint as I can. Because if I just spray it on there really, really thick in like one big swoop, the paint's going to build up in all these corners in here. And when I peel it off, it's going to make like a nice layer. What I want is I just want it to be on there as a part of it. So by making it more liquid, I don't have to increase the strength of the pressure with the needle, and I can get that nice dimmer coat. It's going to take a couple coats to get it, so I'm just going to do a few, show you guys what I mean, and then I'm going to cut and show you guys the final product. And one of the final steps is removing tape. So I'm going to show you guys how to remove tape without damaging your model as most you can. So anyways, let's get going. Okay, and I'm going to let that dry for just a few minutes, and then I'm going to go back and keep adding layers on there until I get the white that I want. Now, one thing you might be thinking is if you added too much thinner to the paint, is that going to be, you know, too wet and then in turn bleed underneath these, you know, bleed into it anyways? Well, if you do it right and you keep the pressure off, it shouldn't, because this is so lightly gone through. I can still see most of the olive drab. Like I said, with white paint, like with what I'm doing here, it's building up layer and layer and layer. So I'm going to show you guys the final product when I'm done, and yeah, again, how to remove the tape. So I'll see you guys in. Okay guys, I'm done. I've airbrushed the white onto it, and it looks pretty good. I'm going to lower the camera down here because I'm picking up too much light. And yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to remove the tape. One thing to know when you're doing maskings and things like this is paint. If you can, remove the tape as early as you can, because what paint does, and this is kind of weird, when you have the tape like this and you put your paint on it like this, and if you were to remove your paint or your tape, you would have a straight edge. That was the meaning between the paint and the tape. But by removing the the tape, you're allowing the paint to settle and dry. So instead of getting a flat edge, you're going to get a curved edge, and it's going to reduce those really nasty sharp looks that you can get. So try that out next time. I've read about it. I've actually seen it happen, you know, in my own painting, things like that. Okay, so this sounds kind of dumb. I have to move this up a little higher. Now, when you're removing tape, a lot of people don't like taping up things because you remove paint, little chips of it, you know, when you're done. There's an easy way how to remove the tape. Now what you have to do is you have to take the tape and you have to bend it back on itself and pull it just like this. And what this is doing is, by pulling it back on itself, you are creating like the smallest possible friction. Instead of like ripping it up like a band-aid and pulling it back, slowly peeling it, you're keeping the paint down level instead of pulling it up, because it's just a little layer. And there you go. There's my star. And that looks pretty darn good. I'm impressed. I'm quite impressed with that. So I'm going to remove the rest of the tape and then show you guys how that looks really quick. Alright? Okay guys, I'm super excited about this. These stars look awesome. I'm just thrilled with that. That's all I wanted them to do. And they just look great on there. And so yeah, that's all for this video. I know the removing the tape thing seems pretty stupid, but trust me guys, it does work, and it will help you to limit the amount of paint you could be removing. Another thing to do, especially if you're airbrushing, is leave your model alone for 2 to 3 days. Let the paint bake into there really good. One other thing you can do, and the thing I'm going to be doing next here this evening, is giving it a layer of future. I just want to protect this paint, and I wanted to get these done on there. Next step is to build the bogies and then weather it. So the stars are looking pretty darn good. And I put about 4, maybe about 5 layers on a few. I think the turret ones I did 5 layers. On the hull I did only 4 layers of white. And I'm very impressed with that. That looks great. And again, it was just a stencil star. I had some decals and I traced it out and onto some tape. So it's really easy to do, guys. If you have any comments or questions, anything like that, please feel free to drop a line. I'll try to answer as many of them as I can, as soon as I can. And yeah, the dreaded bogey assembly is tomorrow, so look forward to that, guys. And that's about all I can share with you guys. So this is Rebels of Cloud 9, signing out.